Yo, it's Sid and Dion, brothers on a comedy path. All jokes aside, we about to change the math. Real talk plus no filter equals not your usual chatter. From sports to politics, all subjects matter. Never shallow, we about to go into the deep end. Get ready to dive in, go ahead, grab a friend. Now this is grown people business, keep them kids inside. Now that's debatable, jump on, it's time to ride. Yeah, now that's debatable. Now that's debatable. Here we go. Time to start the show.
Yo, now this debatable. I gotta tell you something, Dion. I love that song. All right, love that song. Shout out to my man Run Like for putting that down, laying that down for us. I love it. I love the new intro. Man, whoever came up with the thought of a new intro and kind of put it all together and said, you know what, we need to have our own song, and said, oh, that was moi. That was moi. Yours truly, Sydney Smith. Now it's debatable. Happy Monday to everybody out there. Hope you had a fantastic weekend. Brother right there to my side is my brother, my friend, one of my confidants, Mr. Dion Curry. Now, his eyes look shifty, but he's very trustworthy. All right, so don't let his shifty eyes fool you. But happy to have him. Happy to be here with y'all. Shout out to everybody who listens on the podcast. Shout out to everybody who watches on YouTube. You guys are all amazing. All amazing. We got people coming in. Some of our favorite master debaters are already coming in. Mary was good with you. Says, hi, guys. Time to ride. That's right. I love it. Danielle Marie says, hey, guys. So happy I could be here tonight. We're so happy you could be here as well. And then Mary says, you're welcome. Ha, 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 ha. Yes, absolutely. So with all that said, let me go ahead and kick it as I normally do to Mr. Dion Curry. What's good, bro? How was your weekend? How was your day?
Happy Monday to you, my brother Sydney. Yes, shout out to you for coming up with the new intro. I love the song. Shout out to all our massive debaters for being back for another week. I had a good weekend, busy weekend of shows. I had show Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Got murdered on Sunday in my bets because people get hurt, and that's what happens. But I'm happy to be here. We got some really good topics to talk about tonight, and I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, man, we got a fun show lined up for you guys. Hopefully everybody, if you've never been here before, this is not as debatable. It's not called Now We All Get Along and We Agree. So if you disagree with anything that we say, we just ask be respectful about it. And don't suck when you tell us. Have some point of reference where you're coming from and what you're talking about. Just don't be pulling stuff out the air. Dion and I, you will see us disagree. This is just laying it down for people who may be new to the show in case somebody invited someone who's fresh and new. Here's the other thing, too, I want to ask you guys to do. If you guys are inviting people to join the group, make sure you remind them to agree to the rules of the group. Because I'm not going to let them in if they don't agree to the rules. I want to make sure everybody's on the same page. So if you are inviting people, because we got a list of people, I think like 5, 6 people deep, I just can't allow them in because they have not said yes, which is beyond me. I don't know why you go through all the everything and you just don't say yes to the rules. But if you guys are out there inviting, thank you. Just let the folks know to say yes to the rules. Cool, cool. Man, I'm kind of pumped up. I got dinner waiting for me after. The wife has made stuffed peppers, man. One of my favorite dishes that she makes, so I can't wait for that. And the weird thing is, I went out and watched the 49ers game last night with some of my boys, had a few drinks, stopped and got some Taco Bell, and I've been dying all day. All right. So this is there was a couple of times I was gonna hit you, Dion, and say, bro, look, we need to do this show tomorrow. I'm not sure if I'm gonna make it for an hour in this seat. All right. So
Coming
but
live from now from Sydney's bathroom.
so I am going
The
to try to.
acoustics are amazing in here.
What's that echo? So I'm gonna try to push through,
I
man. So
can
we
hear
have a fun show.
chalupa.
All I had was tacos, but you know what? When your system does not want to eat that, or you don't eat that stuff you don't introduce, when you do, it's been something today. So I'm gonna make it through. But we had to cut it short. You know what happened? We all grown. We all grown. We've been there. We all went to hit the Taco Bell at 2 a.m, and the next day it was a rough day. You called in to work.
I was quiet just to see if I could hear your stomach bubbling. That's all that was. See how good your mic setup is over there. No, but I had a good weekend, man. Those shows were good. We got some new people, some new followers on Instagram. So
That's
hopefully
good.
they check out the podcast. Got a
That's good.
couple of new subscribers on TikTok. So
That's good, bro.
hopefully they dig the clips that I put up of this podcast and the others. So, it was good. It was a good weekend. And tonight's show is going to be really good because I've been wanting to talk about the Anthony Mackie situation since you brought it to my attention. And then the other topic about the parents being held responsible for their child's mass
And
shooting.
we and we
I
we
rem-
and we gonna get on. We gonna get to all that. Don't,
yeah, I'm not. I don't want to give away. I'm just saying I've been. That happened. I think 2 or 3 years ago,
yeah, it's been a couple years.
and it's kind of been hushed. But I'm really glad we're talking about it tonight because I got some ideas.
Yeah, and it kind of and that one hits close to home to me. The area where that happened. I have friends who grew up there. I almost bought a house in that area actually many years ago. I still have people I know who grew up there, so that kind of hits a little close to home for me. But we'll definitely get to that. First one, and all of you have had. Oh, okay. I see Daniel Marie says live broadcast from the toilet bowl. Funny. And says Daniel says everybody shits. It's all good. See Daniel. And then Facebook user says hi. Not sure who the Facebook user is there.
That's
but
Roxy.
Roxy. What's up, Roxy? Roxy got a shout out today, so make sure you listen to Running in Slow Motion, Roxy. You got a shout out on that today. So first topic is Anthony Mackie, and everyone hopefully is kind of caught up on it because we shared the Breakfast Club clip over the weekend on the Now It's Debatable group page. And it's pretty simple. What's up, Keith? Thanks for jumping in, brother. We appreciate you. It's pretty simple, straightforward. Anthony Mackie turned down a 12-year-old boy who's a fan of Marvel movies. If you do not know, Anthony Mackie plays a Marvel character. I can't remember the name of him. I went to
Falcon.
look at. Thank you, Falcon. Which I don't think it's the best character, but this kid, this little African American kid, little black kid, wanted to get an autograph from Anthony, and Anthony said no. And when the little boy was upset and went over and told his grandmother what happened, the grandmother came over and she tried to get Anthony Mackie to change his mind. Anthony still said no, he wouldn't do it. The Breakfast Club had their comments on it. Charlemagne the God, if you're not familiar with the show, or if you are familiar with the show, Charlemagne the God, being one of the hosts of the show, said he thought it was cool. You have your right to not sign, and if you don't want to sign, you have a right to ask. He has a right not to sign. If you don't want to sign, then it should be good. I think Envy, his co-host, kind of went the other way with it. And I said, you know what? I think this would be a good topic to see what Dion would do. I think I know what he's going to say, but he tricks me every once in a while. And we definitely want to hear from you guys. What do you guys think about Anthony Mackie deciding not to sign an autograph for a Super Marvel fan, a 12-year-old boy? Dion, you want to go ahead and take the mic?
Sure. As someone who's signed a few autographs, even though I'm nowhere near as famous as Anthony Mackie, and I definitely haven't been in any amazing Marvel movies, I was sad to see that he didn't take the time out for a little fan. Now, here's where I draw the line. With adults, feel free to say no anytime and every time, if because as someone who met someone super famous when I was a child, and that person was super gracious and
Who was
super
it?
cool.
Who was it?
It was Reggie Miller. He came to
Okay.
my first grade class, and he took time out of his day, and he was there for maybe an hour or two, but he was super cool. That always stuck with me. It's one of those things where if you have the opportunity to make somebody's day, and especially when it comes to little kids, you have the opportunity to be the best thing that's happened to them so far in their lives. It becomes one of those things where it's very hard for me to understand why you would say no, unless you were sick or contagious and you didn't want to spread the disease to the little kid. I just, for whatever reason, 800 children, it was just one kid, one super fan. It takes you less than 5 seconds to scribble an autograph that
Right.
he won't even be able to read anyway. It was just really unfortunate that he said no, not once but twice. I get why he said no the second time, because I wouldn't want somebody's mom or grandmother coming over to talk to me after I've already declined. But at the same time, it's like he's a child, and I feel like you want to give kids as many wins as you can when it comes to things that aren't life or death.
Yeah, Excuse me, and I forgot, and Dion forgot as well, so it's on us. If you guys can click that subscribe or share button, we would appreciate it. Click that share button, we would definitely appreciate it. I see some comments already rolling in. Let me jump to those real quick. See, Danielle says, I still say they are human beings first. They have every right to say no. And Danielle, I don't even think we're saying he doesn't have the right to say no. I think the discussion is, should he have said no? You have the right whatever to do whatever. But should you have? Keith Robbins says, me as an adult don't particularly want to force a celebrity to give me an autograph, but man, some of these people have been huge in my life and it's something small to them, but huge to me. Mary says, it's hard for me. He has the very right to say no, but that kid could be crushed for the rest of his life. And then Facebook use, I'm going to assume it's Roxy right now, says, I met Tyra, I assume she's talking about Banks, back in the top model days as a teen. It took all of my courage to ask for an autograph, and not only did she decline, but she was extremely rude. Tyra is a horrible human being, LOL. Is that Roxy as well, or someone else said that?
That was Chelsea.
Okay, Chelsea. Look, when I was, long before I was doing comedy, I had a job and I worked in retail and I was a manager. And it was my first time ever doing retail, my first time as a manager. And I had a very good regional manager or district manager who would come in and train me up and show me the ropes of the business because I'd never done it before. And I remember one of the things that he taught me was, if you get a disgruntled customer, just give them what they want. Because if you don't give them what they want, they're going to ask for to speak to someone else, your boss. If the phone call gets to me, I'm going to give them what they want, what they originally asked you to give them, and be the hero. So either I'm going to be the hero or you can be the hero. Which would you want it to be? And I've never forgotten that. And that so much advice I've been given in work situations in life have helped me in both. And for me, this counts as that. You could have been the fucking hero. You could have been a real hero to a 12-year-old little boy instead of being whatever people are going to think about you because you turned down a child for an autograph. Now, I disagree with you, Dion. If someone's grandmother came over to me and said, hey, I'm probably going to say, you know what, ma'am, I'm so sorry. My grandmother taught me better than that. I should have. Bring them on over. Not only am I going to sign the autograph, we're going to take a fucking picture together. I may buy you some ice cream, whatever it is, so I can be whatever it is, so I can be the fucking hero, bro. If you're going to be an asshole, you got to double down.
Go all the way.
No.
Yeah.
No. If you're going to be an asshole and you're going to try to make it right, which I would have, you got to double, triple down on trying to make it fucking right. So whatever it took to make that experience a positive one for him and her, that's what I would have done.
Well, this is where we ultimately disagree, because if I tell you no once and you come back to me with someone else and I have to tell them no, now I'm doubly pissed because I just told the child I'm not giving them one. What makes you think that you have any more cachet with me than the kid who's a super fan of me? You're not a super fan of me, so you're going to come to me on the kid's behalf who's upset and crying. Look, if I don't make me say no more than once, because you're not going to like the second no. Now, whatever reason I give you is the reason that it is. And part of your being an adult is to come to that kid and then explain it to him. Hey, this is a life lesson. Sometimes you don't always get what you want.
Oh, Jesus.
Personally, I would have given the kid the autograph or the picture the first time asked because it's a child. But if I say no and then you go get an adult, well, the chances of the adult coming to me with any type of respect or panache that I want to hear is very small. So the fact that I'm gonna have to stop what I'm doing for a second time to tell you no a second time is already gonna put me in a bad.
Man, the master debaters are really getting to see the other side of you for like 3 or 4 weeks in a row. Look, look, Mr. Pull yourself up by your bootstraps. Look, man. Anthony Mackie should have signed this. So that is without a doubt. This shouldn't even be a question. He should have definitely signed it if the grandmother has to come over and ask you on behalf of the grandson. But here's my thing. Anthony Mackie is an actor. Anthony Mackie went from being probably some side actor, extra, worked his way up till he's done some really shitty movies over his career that we all can probably name a couple of them, and he's done some ones that are pretty decent. And now he's gotten to the Marvel, and that's really kicked off his fucking career for sure. Along the way, when you're coming up in this business, you have your heroes. I got a couple of them that I had on my wall behind me right now. That is an important thing. I don't ask for autographs from anyone, so I don't have any autographs, but I do have pictures. When you're coming up in this fucking business, and I'm sure Anthony Mackie has some pictures that he requested from people that he was on screen with. So why, as an artist, if you understand the importance of it for you as an adult, why can't you understand how important this was to this child? Short of you having cut off one of your digits and being rushed to the hospital, I cannot imagine you were doing anything where you could not take 2 minutes to sign an autograph and make a little boy's day. I can't think of one thing. Because anything else outside of that, you being sick or anything like that, you shouldn't have been outside here in open air.
Well, here's the thing. He was probably on his own time, private citizen in a public place. Fair enough. The only thing that I would think that would make him say no to this kid is because there was a line of a bunch of other kids who, had they seen him get an autograph, it would have delayed him and whatever he was doing. Because that does tend to happen.
Then quit your job.
No.
Absolutely.
You can't say that I have the right to refuse, and then when I'm out doing whatever it is I want to do, and I don't want to sign an autograph or take a picture, all of a sudden I have to quit my job. That makes no sense.
No, it makes perfect sense. I say quit
Why?
your job because this is what you signed up for. You're not in those movies over and over again making money.
That's not what you signed up for.
It's absolutely what you think someone. I'm sorry, you signed up to play a character in a Marvel movie on top of everything else you've done. You don't think you signed up for everything that comes with that? You don't sign up just for the money. You sign up for whatever fame, whatever request comes from a child, especially if you want to do Marvel movies. You don't like it? Go shoot porn and hope that some little dirty bastard who lives in a trailer doesn't bother you.
What are you talking? What? Since when did the fact that you're a public figure mean you had to grant every little kid's request, or otherwise you need to quit your job and go star in adult films? How did you get from saying no to a little kid to, oh shoot, I'm sticky all day?
Because
I don't understand.
Because then you don't have to worry about little kids asking you, you're being bothered because you're a private citizen. You are not a private citizen when you're in a fucking Marvel movie, bro. This private citizen shit is over. Absolutely over. Then you need to duck in and out the back door of everywhere you go, driving only vehicles with limo tent, and keep security around you at all times.
Look, I understand there's give and take of celebrity and fame. I understand that once you reach a certain level, there's certain things you cannot do anymore, like go grocery shopping because people mob you. But at the same time, as adults, we should know, hey, maybe that guy doesn't want to be bothered. And if he told my kid no, I just have to explain to my child, look, he's not in the mood today. Please, maybe you shouldn't take this no as him not being the superhero that you think he is. Maybe he's having a bad day. Maybe try to look at it from his side of the aisle. This is a perfect opportunity to teach your 12-year-old a lesson that they're gonna need to learn.
What are you
coming
doing?
up.
What are you
What do you mean,
doing?
what am I doing?
What are you doing? This isn't you're asking some rando person you can see maybe tomorrow, asking Mr. Jones over at the supermarket, can you try the grapes? And he's like, nah, not today, kid. This isn't what we're doing. We're talking about Anthony Mackie. When is this kid going to get a chance to be in front of Falcon again to get a fucking autograph?
Maybe this is his villain origin story. Maybe this is the rejection that propels him to be the better version of Falcon 20 years from now. When this young black kid, he goes, when I was 12, I wanted an autograph from the new Captain America. He said no, so I vowed to be like, I'm gonna surpass him and become the new Captain America, and I'll never turn the kid down. And maybe that's the growth that Anthony Mackie inspired in this child by telling him, kick rocks, son.
And then who can turn a grandma now? You know the grandma went over like, I'll take care of this baby. And he went over there and he said, I said no. And she's like, did you not have a grandmother No one loved you. Just see it or look
I
on her
done treated
face.
them both like Red Skull. If y'all don't get the hell out of here, you gonna find out why they call me Captain.
I'm gonna go to the back to the comments here. Keith Robbins, what's up? Keith says Dwayne Wade was great when I got an autograph from him, and he signed every person's stuff. That's what I'm talking about. He gets it. He gets it. And he's Dwayne Wade. Now I didn't want to shit on my man, but Anthony Mackie. I mean, how famous are you? You need to take to get that autograph, bro. One day someone cannot be asking you for shit. But
I'm not. I'm not disagreeing with you there. He's not super famous to the point where he should be turning people down because he's getting mobbed all the time. But at the same time, I respect his decision and to stick to his guns because to me it comes off as weak as if the grandma comes over and talks you into it. Like, ugh, why would you? Why would you say no to the kid and yes to the grandma?
why is
I would
everything
say
prison
no to
rules?
the grandma and then yes to the kid.
Why is everything prison rules with you? Like everything is like you gotta get shanked or not shanked today. What is everything prison rules with you?
Because if I tell you no, that's the answer. Don't come to me with a secondary party who's she's not more sympathetic than a 12-year-old.
See, what if she
If
came over
I
like
said
what if she came over like one of them prison honey buns and tried to buy one off you with autograph? Would you?
I will, am I going to take a random honey bun from a random grandma whose kid I just rejected? No.
Mary says I watched a kid get crushed by Joe Centriani once. The kid had an autograph book. Joe refused to sign it and would only sign something that was bought that day. And you know what? I kind of saw Ray Lewis do the same thing at a cigar event a few years back. And I think I told the story on here again, but I'll tell it again. Ray does, and I'm not going to name the cigar spot just in case I don't want them to get any blowback, in case someone, watches this down the road. But Ray Lewis comes in, he does an event. He has, and this is in a Dion has been to this establishment. It is in a very nice area. But Ray thinks he needs to have an off-duty cop there in uniform, standing security by the table. He never comes from around that table. If you want to talk to Ray or get an autograph, you have to walk over and buy a box of these cigars. Now, contrast that with this place is packed and Michael Phelps walks right in through the front door and shakes hands with everybody he can shake hands with on his way through the establishment to get back there to Ray is, because he came to see Ray because Ray was in town. So now, as a grown man, I'm not a 12-year-old child, but I can recognize the difference between that and this. And every time I tell this story, this is how I tell it. Ray Lewis, asshole. Michael Phelps, awesome.
I agree with you. Michael Phelps is a hero. He's an Olympic gold medalist. Ray Lewis is a football player who probably is going to suffer from some type of CTE some point in his lifetime for all the head hits he took. It don't take a genius to see the huge difference between those two individuals.
I'm talking about just the way that you treat people is kind of where I'm at.
I agree. I'm one of those people to where if you show up to an event where I'm at and I'm featured, I'm not gonna try to nickel and dime you with extras. I'm only signing something if you buy a cigar. If you bring me something to sign, I'm gonna sign it. I've signed a few autographs in my time. Mm-hmm. I don't care what you do with my signature afterward. If it helps you make a few dollars because it's got my name on it, I'm all for that. I don't understand people who go, I don't want you making money off me, or that type of attitude when it comes to their signature or their likeness. To me, it's kind of ridiculous. Yeah. Especially when you reach a certain level of money or you're a millionaire and money is not something that you need to worry about on a day-to-day basis. To me, the idea of keeping people from finding some type of joy in what you do is absolutely ridiculous. It makes no sense. It's low character is what it is.
I signed my first autograph like within 6 months of doing stand-up. I was doing a contest. This young lady asked me for my autograph. She's like, I think you're going to be famous one day. I said, well, we'll see. And she wanted my autograph. I don't even remember what I signed. I know I signed my name, obviously, but I don't remember if I signed something else. I mean, when you first sign them, you don't know what the fuck to sign. You're just happy someone's asking you. And I've signed autographs since. I have never told anyone no. And I hope by the grace of God that I never, ever do. I hope that I'm in a position that if I do have a very good reason, I have a meeting I have to get to. Maybe I have a film set I need to be on. Maybe I might actually get mobbed by people if I sign this one autograph. So So unfortunately, no. Maybe I'll have security because I know talking to a good friend of mine who used to do security, they handle that kind of thing and say, sorry, ma'am, sorry, sir, they can't sign autographs today. He or she, they got X, Y, and Z to do. So maybe that'll be something. But I hope to get to that point. But until then, I'm going to sign every autograph that is asked of me. Because the mere fact, because we do this because we love to do this. And we also do it, you and I, we do it because there's a certain level of fame, there's a certain level of success, there's a certain level of power that we hope to achieve. And what comes with that is people wanting your fucking autograph. And like I was saying before for Anthony Mackie, without those people, without the Mary Ballards of the fucking world, who's in the building to listen to us tell jokes? Without this 12-year-old kid and other kids who still like to watch some of these shitty-ass Marvel movies, how is Marvel going to fucking pay you to do the same film that they just did fucking 2 years ago?
Yeah, I mean, even if you're having a bad day, there's ways of going about it. I mean, especially if you have security with you, you can say, hey, look, I'm not in the mood to sign an autograph right now. Let me get your information. Maybe I'll send you an autograph picture or, because it's not like Anthony Mackie doesn't have headshots just lying around waiting for people to be autographed. I know wrestlers from 40 years ago who go to Comic-Con and set up a booth and hope people come and give them $20 because they ain't famous no more. So it's one of those things where, there was ways of going about it. And for whatever reason, he said no, which I respect. I don't agree with it, but I respect it. If it were me, I would never say no to kids unless it was an extremely difficult situation where I was pressed for time or my health was involved. Those would be the only two reasons why I would say no to a child. I get not wanting to sign autographs for Drew, and it didn't cost him anything. It wasn't like he lost time or some important meeting that has cost him down the road. He could have easily gotten that kid's information from the grandmother. Hey, I don't want to sign it because we're in public and I don't want this to become a big deal. But I tell you what, if you give me your information, I will make sure that somebody from within my camp gets you a picture with an autograph. And then you go on about it that way. Whether you get back to that kid eventually or not is irrelevant. You could always say, well, I told the kid no, and that was that. And then the grandma can say, well, I gave him my information, and Anthony Mackie could be like, I don't remember any of that. There's ways of getting even out of that situation. But to just be like, nah, I'm good, not once but twice, that's trash.
And understand, folks, everything I'm saying is coming from a person that when he was going through the line at the grocery store, the clerk said, hey, man, aren't you that guy? And I said, yes, I am that guy. So we wait for those moments to be able to say that. Over to the comments here. Chelsea Chevis, I know that now, but back then she was so popular and she was shopping at Victoria's Secret, LOL. I got to tell you, that forehead gave it away. So you should have known that forehead, she was going to be rude. She was not going to be nice unless she was. Mary Ballard says, the championship Arizona Rattlers all signed in medical scrub top for me. Hunky Cooper made it happen. It made my heart so happy. Mary, that is awesome. I'm not even going to make fun of the reference of the team that you referenced. I'm going to let that go past because Hunky Cooper, I don't know who the hell that is. I'm very upset with you that you wrote something that I had to say Hunky. So let's try.
It's definitely not a word men use on the regular.
Let's try. See, this is why we had a screener before. I hate that we had to let August go. Which is why we Hunky Cooper. Mary, don't do that to me again. Facebook user says, when I watch Top Model now, I realize how horrible they were to some of the models. LOL.
That was Chelsea.
Oh, Chelsea. Well, women are horrible people to women normally anyway. I wouldn't even want to be in that dressing room. See how mean they are to each other. Oh, you're eating that? Are you having a chicken nugget, you fat bitch? For how those models talk to each other. He's lucky that little boy is trying to get an autograph and not trying to jack him. I don't know who the hell said that. What thug said that?
that was Roxy. If you getting jacked by a 12-year-old boy and you're one of the Marvel superheroes, something has gone completely wrong. I know his name is Clarence, and Clarence's parents have a real good marriage, but You would think Falcon would be able to handle a 12-year-old boy. Jesus, Roxy.
Hey man, this is just like that baby that Dave Chappelle talked about.
Click, click.
Oh my God. Danielle says, but the ice cream. Yes, the ice cream, Danielle. Chelsea, yes, it was pretty bad. Probably contributed to my body dysmorphia. All right, well, this is going in a direction I wasn't expecting. Keith says, kids is just a whole different thing. Just sign the damn picture. Absolutely. It says, Danielle says, I'm with Dion. Mary says, I disagree about whether it was a kid or not. We don't know the mental state or age of an adult. They could be a 30-year-old with mental age of a 10-year-old. Mary, I'm not surprised. Mary is very hardcore in her stances, which is funny because one time for one of our Patreon sessions she had with Dion and I, make it sound like it was a sex thing. One of our, one of our Patreon sessions for one of our 2-on-1s that we had with Mary from Patreon.
Jesus Christ, what is happening? The
Mary,
views expressed here by Sydney Smith are
don't
solely.
try it. Don't try it. Don't try it. Don't try it. We're a team. To the top, to the bottom. We're together. No, but seriously, it is. Mary did say, she says, well, I like to kind of sit in the fence every once in a while. I like to try to find the commonality between the two sides. You're pretty hardcore not giving this 10-year-old autograph, Mary. Hardcore.
And to her point about, adults being, child minded, I don't give a damn. If you're grown, you're grown. That to me doesn't matter. If you're over the age of 18, whether you've mentally developed beyond adolescence or not, if I tell you no as an adult, that's how I'm saying no to you. Now, obviously, we shouldn't be telling, mentally handicapped people, go kick rocks, you dumb motherfucker. I'm not signing no autographs. Obviously, you should have some tact about it. But if they're an adult, they're an adult, and you're supposed to be able to handle it. Even if they can't, they're supposed to, and that's not on me at that point.
Yeah. Keith says, I saw this video on Facebook of Dan Marino signing, and he told the adults no because he knew they were going to sell the autograph, and he only signed a jersey for a kid. I guess in that case, so what's your thoughts on that for Dan Marino saying no because in his mind you're going to sell it anyway?
I'm not opposed. I'm not for people saying no because I don't want you to. I want you to make money regardless. If my signature helps put money in your pocket and you support me, why would I want to take that away from you? That makes absolutely no sense to me. I always tell people that buy my merch, if you buy my shirt, I don't care what you do with it afterward. You supported me. So if you want to use it to clean up your car or, as a cum rag, I don't care. It's yours now. And what you choose to do with it is your business. I'm just grateful for the support. And if an adult came to me and said, hey, can you sign this for my kid? And I sign it for the kid and they don't have a kid and they turn around and make some money off of it. Well, you didn't have to lie about it. That's kind of shady. But at the same time, look, everybody needs a few extra dollars every now and then. So I really don't have a problem with it. I would rather you be honest and give me the opportunity to genuinely tell you no than to, lie about it to profit. I think that's a character issue. And me personally, I would never do that. But I get it. Not everybody's like me. And at the end of the day, it's what, $200-300. It's not like, it's not like Antiques Roadshow where you're pulling out a Rolex that's first one printed, it's never been worn, which I saw the other day that this veteran had. He had a antique Rolex, and the guy tells him, how much do you think this is worth? And he goes, oh, well, these watches normally go for 1 to 200,000, but this one is in perfect condition and it's rare. So it's a $250,000 easily. And the old veteran from Vietnam fainted right then and there. And he was like, oh shit, don't die, because I'll take your watch. So it's one of those things where it's like, if you can help somebody make a buck, help them make a buck, you know?
I just thought of a sketch. I'll talk to you about it. I'll talk to you about it afterwards. But Dan may have some type of deal, and Keith, was that Keith that brought this up?
Yeah.
Okay, Keith, tell me, do you know anything about this at all? I'm wondering if some of these athletes, like Dan Marino, who sign a lot of stuff, and what if they have some kind of deal where they can't sign stuff a lot, unless make an exception for a kid, because they're already getting paid by some company to sign things that they sell memorabilia. memorabilia. I wonder if that might be possible. Also,
How is
could
the
be.
company gonna know that you signed a random autograph
I'm
one
just
day?
I'm just saying that could be something that's out there. Well, the company doesn't have to so much know. It could be if I sign that for you, I'm taking money out of my own pocket because I have this deal over here where I sign, I make money based off of that, based off of how much I sign.
To which I would say, "You're damn Marino. You got enough goddamn money. Like
Maybe it does. Hey
what?
man, it buy ain't no one's buying
Look,
isotonic gloves.
but they were. So
So he ain't
Ace
well,
Ventura is still running.
that ain't
So
he ain't seen it. I was about to say he ain't seen the hit since Ace Ventura. Is he still even doing network television?
he's still doing commercials. He just did a commercial with Randy Moss, Emmett Smith, and Jerry Rice, where he's
Okay,
suited up.
okay,
So
all right.
I think he does Tostitos commercials as well. So
No,
he's doing all right.
he's just doing everything. Anything. See, that's why he can't afford the
If
autographs
I
about the dough. Tostito commercials.
if I met Dan Marino, I'd ask him to sign some gum because that is one of my favorite lines in any movie ever. He's like, "Hey Ace, got any more of that gum? Mind your damn business, Dan Marino."
Keith says, Deion Curry, I need your autograph. LOL.
I got you, Keith.
Let's see. Facebook here says Deion's a sweetheart in person.
That's
Boo.
Roxy.
Boo. Do I have a boo button on here anywhere? I do not, but you can get this, Roxy.
Boo the kid who asked for your autograph.
How dare you? What I got over here? I see I got the whole new system over here. I haven't really set it up yet. This is the, yeah, right there. That's what I think about you, buddy.
That's you booing me.
All right. It says I should have had you sign my Tickle for the Cure shirt. I can see both sides. It was a dickhead move, but maybe he just didn't want to be bothered. Maybe kids annoy him. Who is
That's
this?
Dana.
Dana, glad to see you in the building, Dana. Glad you see you in the building. You hate kids so much you won't even sign an autograph just to show. I wonder if he woke up that day. Bitch, I won't be signing the autographs today. I tell you that right now. Till he stepped
I
out the
feel like
house.
there are certain celebrities who do wake up like I ain't signing shit today. Like
Like, fuck
I've
that.
met some who have they have just been very crotchety people to be around, even when they're about to do the thing that they're famous for. I've met several comedians who, before I met them, I was fans of, but once I saw them interact with people in person, I was like, I do not like this person. I don't find them funny anymore because their overall character was
Been there,
terrible.
been
So
there. And you know what? Speaking of that, this is why I'm so hardcore about this with the kid. Because you and I have been around enough celebrities, we've worked with enough famous comics that you get a feel, and we're fucking adults. You get a feel off people like this person. Like you can be in a green room with a comic for people who've never been in that position. They don't want to talk at all. So you can spend an entire weekend from Thursday to Sunday with someone. They don't want to have any conversation at all. Maybe, hey, how you doing? Hey, I'll see you tomorrow for the show, or good set. You may get that in there somewhere. But outside of that, they don't want to talk about your family. They don't want you to ask any questions about their family. They have no interest in sharing a drink with you afterwards. A lot of times they don't want to talk to you about the business for whatever reason. I understand that. I get that. And I've been doing this long enough, I can pick up on that, and I will not bother you at all. I'm even to the point where if I'm talking with a headliner after when I introduce myself, I'm like, hey, if you're not one of those people that like to talk, cool, no problem. And most of the time, I'm like, no, I'm cool. Let's chop it up, and we have a great weekend. But I'm not a child, and children should not have to try to pick up on those social cues with you. Sign the fucking autograph for crying out loud.
I agree with you. I had the chance to headline on Saturday, and my feature afterward, it was a small crowd because I'm not famous, and this was hastily put together by a promoter who I'm not super happy with at the moment. But after the show, he and I go to the bar, and he's just start asking me questions. Hey, how did you get to this level? What does it take? What should I be looking for? Those types of things. And as someone who was in his position at some point in my career, the idea of not giving back the way I was given back to blows my mind. How some comics or just celebrities or people in general don't want to give back to the generation that's coming up behind them. Knowledge should be passed down, tips and tricks, especially if the person has potential. Like the guy I was working with, he's not bad, and so it was like if I can help him avoid a hurdle that I had to deal with,
Right,
I'm
right.
all for that. Granted, he's not paying me for this information, but at the same time, it's part of the Big Brother program where you look out for people, in your area because you never know who you're going to meet who surpasses you one day, or they're going up and you're coming down. You just never know.
Yeah.
So this whole idea that you don't want to sign an autograph for a kid because it's just a bad day, to me is a very sad character trait. If it's not going to cost you time or health, you should go out of your way to accept the benefit of what you've done with your career. I mean, if Anthony Mackie really looks at it, having a kid want your autograph should be a sign that you made some of the right choices in what you decided to pursue in your life. And you should reward that. You should reward yourself by being a hero to this kid who's probably never going to see you again in person. And, you won't think anything of it, but they're going to carry that for a very, very long time.
And you're speaking to my spirit when you give the example you gave. I don't know if I talked about this. You and I talked about it. I don't know if I talked about it on the show. But when I first started, some of the guys and girls who were in front of me didn't give two fucks about helping. They wouldn't listen to your set. They wouldn't give you any notes on your set. There was no writing set. They just wouldn't. And I've never forgotten that. So for two folds. One, now that I've surpassed them, now you want to come and you want to ask. Say, Sid, maybe we can, and maybe we can. And I politely say, yeah, sure. In my mind, I have no want to do anything with you because now you want to attach yourself. Two, much like you, younger comic, I see something in as well. Because I'm not going to just sit and fucking talk to you about comedy if you joke it off all the time, every time I see you.
Right.
If you're not really putting in grind. But you're putting in grind, you're in the green room with me, had the same occasion, had some comments in the green room, they were on the show. The club owner came in and wanted to chase them out. I said, bro, part of the perks of being on the weekend finally is to be able to hang out in the green room. So let them chill. Don't kick them out again. And all they wanted to do was pepper me with question after question after question. I did not mind because it is my duty, like you were saying, our duty to fucking give back because someone gave it to us. So why wouldn't you do it? So, I mean, you can take this and you can span this across any industry, just across human beings, period. Sign the fucking autograph. You want to be just a hero on the fucking screen, or would you like to be a hero in real life too, asshole? Keith Roberts says, I know Tom Brady has the same contract. I'm sure he is the same way. Most of the time, it's the companies that usually authenticate those same autographs. So I was wondering about that. Mary says his legal name was Hernandez. So I think she was trying to clean up that hunky thing or whatever. Let me see. Let me scroll. I'm sorry, guys. I lost my spot here. Mary says his legal name was Hernandez. Okay. All right. I see you're going to put that in there again. Good point, Sidney. We never know the deals that people will have. Keith says, plus he's a member of the CBS crew on Sundays. Okay. Let me scroll down here, see if we can see anybody else here. Okay.
Chad,
Go ahead, Dion.
Chad Lamont just said, "Pay it forward, damn straight."
Yeah, absolutely. And Keith Robbins Jr. says, do you think he would say no to a cancer patient in a hospital? I pray he would not, Keith, but I don't know. He told a grandma no. He said no to you, and I told your grandmother no. Now, everybody get the hell out of here because I'm trying to finish the tuna fish sandwich. I don't have time for this.
I mean,
oh, my God.
so on a smaller scale, last year Miss Pat threw a party for to celebrate her fans, and so obviously I'm on the podcast with her, so people see me as some type of celebrity, even in that small context of the group. So at the party, I'm sitting down and I'm eating, and people come up to me, "Hey, can we get a picture?" Now in my mind, I'm thinking, "Damn it, I'm hungry. I really want to eat." But these people have supported something that I'm a part of that has got me to where I'm at right now, and so why in the hell would I deny them, over a meal that I can get later? It was just one of those things where I told everybody, hey, if you see me and you want to take a picture, please don't be too shy to come up and ask, because that's what we're here for. This is a celebration of us through you guys. And so why you would be out in public and run into a super fan and then tell that super fan and his grandma to kick rocks, it's really sad, man. Without a legitimate reason outside of he can't sign autographs because of some memorabilia company, which I find hard to believe. But okay, I'll give you that one. Or you're sick and you don't want to make someone else sick, and so signing autographs will put that person at risk. And you don't want to go through all the details. I get that, but I mean, Chadwick Boseman was being the most gracious and amazing human until his dying breath. So,
And he did have cancer.
and it's like he still went out of his way to do what he had to do to make people, you know, smile and happy and make their day. And here we got, you know,
What's his name again?
Falcon,
so
fucking Clarence. He's always gonna be Clarence to me
I'm,
from 8 Mile.
I'm sitting here. Yes, he was Clarence. He was. I'm sitting here thinking about you sitting there eating and people coming over asking for your autograph. It takes me back. I'm gonna date myself here, but I don't see anyone on the screen who's young. So remember that scene from Boys in the Hood when
Stop.
he brings in the
Furious.
food. Yeah, he brings in the Furious, and he's like, "Hey, you think you can edge me up?" And I'm eating here. I'm like, yes, I can see it. Yeah, you take the pictures. I'm eating. So,
What to me it brings up is from Bad Santa when he's in the mall and he's eating it. I'm on my fucking lunch break.
oh yeah, fucking food flying out of his mouth. Keith has got the comment of the night, and this is to show that the new me has arrived just in time for
Oh Lord.
Halloween because it has nothing to do with me. But I'm going to say it's the comment of the night thus far and read it anyway. Keith says, "I see you as famous, to be honest." Talking about you. You have that aura about you. And you know
Oh,
what I'm
well, I
going to do?
appreciate
You
that.
know what I'm going to do on top of that? I'm going to give Keith an applause break. Boom. And you know why I would do that? Because I got a call from a regional manager who said, "I'm not showing you enough love." So I want my Christmas bonus. So I don't want the people, I want the boss calling down again. So I'm not being fair enough to you. So 2 applause breaks for Keith for saying Dion has an aura about him. The old me would say, "Fuck yeah, he has an aura about him," and I would follow it up with something negative. But I'm not going to do that.
But you know what's funny is when we
What?
first met, there was an aura about you, and I think that's what kind of kicked off our friendship. Is I didn't know you from Adam. You went out of your way to help Miss Pat and I go to the grocery store, and then that night I got to see you perform, and there was a mutual respect that bloomed from that. And there's just something about people who you meet, and they could be arrogant, they could be shitty, but they're not. There's a certain level of humbleness that we should all have, because you're somebody to somebody and you're nobody to others. And I think that's important to remember, is that I know who I am as a person, but the fact that I have a job where it puts me in front of people and they support me, you don't ever want to get rid of that, because you work, Sydney, you and I both know, you work so hard to get people like Mary and like Keith who support whatever it is you do, that when you meet them and you're nasty to them, I mean, that word of mouth spreading is the
Quick.
worst kind of PR that you want. They say there's no such thing as bad press. Well, I disagree. Bad press is bad press,
I agree.
and you don't want to be known as the guy who tells little kids and grandmas to fuck off.
Well, and and to your point that you were making, we work so hard for it, and there's nothing. I'm gonna share something else with you guys. There's nothing for me personally. This is just from my career. There is nothing like busting your ass to the point where you can put a show together with your own name on one of the hottest clubs in the country, and hundreds of people buy tickets to come out, and you get the feeling like what, and then the following weekend you're working that same club with a headliner, and none of those people want to see you. Like when you come out on stage, it is like, you know what I'm talking about. You come out
Yes,
on
I do.
stage, and it is an uphill battle. I mean, it makes you better, but you're like, Jesus Christ. Just last week, my name was on the building, on the marquee. People were loving me. And this week, these people give 2 fucks about me. To your point, it fucking comes, and it can go at any point in time. And sometimes it's within a 7-day period.
So sign the autograph if you got the opportunity,
Be the
especially
hero.
for a child, man.
Be the
Especially for a
hero.
child.
Jeez.
I like that. Be the hero.
Keith Robbins says, "Great personalities." Thank you, Keith. I appreciate it. And he said, "I started listening to Dion on Miss Pat's podcast, and now I listen to 3 podcasts with him in it." Right there. That's why I said, man, give him some love. It's my brother right there, man.
Thank you, Keith.
And I'm glad you said it, Keith, because I be trying to prop him up, and he act like he don't hear a word I say. So I'm glad somebody else said it.
Huh? What'd you say?
Yeah, exactly right.
Say it again. Say that
All
one
right,
more time.
you heard it. Mary says Sydney is the reason I started listening to the podcast. So let's go ahead and find some horns for Mary. All right, thank you guys for supporting the show the way that you have. We're going to hit this next topic, and may have to be quick, but we're going to hit this next topic. I'm going to read from the article real quick. Danielle says, same. Thank you, Danielle. Appreciate you. Danielle's been my sister from another mister for a long time now. Where did I have that article? All right, so we're going to go to the next article. I'm going to read from the USA Today about it. It says the Supreme Court made history Friday in letting the unprecedented charges stick against James and Jennifer Crumbley, the parents of the Oxford school shooter, who must now stand trial for the alleged roles in the deaths of 4 students murdered by their son in 2021. So in 2021, this couple's son went into school shooting, killed kids. The Crumleys are the first parents in America charged in, you know what, guys? I am so sorry. I do not feel well. I got to stop the show. Honest to God, I do. Maybe we can come back afterwards, but I'm not going to make it through this, boy. I'm telling you.
I thought you were joking, but the look on your face is telling the truth. That's hilarious.
This is Facebook Live. I do apologize. Dion and I may come back afterwards. I'll hit him up. We'll see if we're going to do it. But I do apologize.
We'll come back. Go handle your business.
All right.